Welcome, welcome. All right, tonight's topic is, yes, thank you, Kimberly. So happy to see you too. I wish I could give you an in-person squeeze. Um, yeah, the biggest. Tonight's workshop is all about happier, not happy, just happier. And my thought in creating this workshop was noticing that so much of the time there's something that we could do. Hi, Monica, welcome. There's something that we could do to be more contented, happier, peaceful, joyful. Insert the word that you like the best, right? Pretty much, pretty frequently in our lives. There are easy, simple things that we could do that would just turn the dial up a little bit. And our goal in a 1 hour workshop isn't to go from like totally miserable to being like happy all the time. Our goal isn't to just click a button and then we'll just forever be happy. What we're shooting for today is, could we turn up the dial on our lives ongoing for perhaps a chunk of time or even the longer, 15%. That's what I decided we're going to shoot for today. We're shooting for 15% because I thought that's just enough that it would like really tip the scale and not so much that it feels totally unrealistic. Hi, Lucy. Welcome. So as we're playing, I wanted something that felt fun and easy. We're doing 3 simple steps to create more happiness in our lives. Turn that dial up. We're going to start with the very simple meditation. Step 1 is, can you get some meditation into your life, right? Of course, that's always going to be my go-to. I'm not going to preach that you have to do it every day. I'm not going to preach that it has to be a certain length of time or a certain type of meditation. I am not going to preach that you should do anything. There has nothing has been quite as humbling as motherhood to show me how difficult having a regular meditation practice can be. Even for someone whose whole life ties into and relates to meditation, it has been so humbling to see how difficult it is to really have this practice be easy and consistent to get to. So if it's very difficult for you as well in the stage of life that you are in, just know I see you. And could we add 15% more meditation than we're doing? Just a little bit more. If you're doing none, can you do a tiny bit? If you're doing once a month, can you do twice a month? Can we just do a tiny bit more? And the practice we're going to start with will be a very, very short, very, very simple practice. You'll get an audio recording of just that to keep when you get the recording email, whenever that comes. And you get lots of meditations from me. So today we're going to do one that's like, when you are short for time or having a hard time dropping in, that has been something, the hormonal hypervigilance, hormonal anxiety, hormonal like of postpartum has really shown me there are, to a degree that I didn't understand before. I knew this, but boy, is it hitting home. There are times when it's very difficult to drop into the type of meditation you're used to, even if you're very practiced. And so sometimes we got to shoot for like, I'm buzzing here and I just want to bring it down to here. Instead of thinking that we're going to come all the way into this like place of ecstasy, bliss, into a trance state and connect to the divine and the earth and all the things. Sometimes it's like, can I just be a little closer to okay? So we're going to do a meditation that's like short and sweet and simple here at the beginning. It's also really nice just to kind of get a little in your body. Then we're going to do a practice you'll need a pen and paper for. Much easier if you write this one down, to help shift what we're creating in our perspective, which is, I think, so much the beautiful part about this is it's an instantaneous change to your life and it's an ongoing change. So you're going to do this practice, and if you can be using this tool in little ways as you go forward, it's going to change in the moment and it's going to change what you manifest. So that 15% is going to start to tick up and up and up and up and up the longer you play in the game we're going to play today. And then we're going to close with an energy healing where all you need to do is just bask and receive. And sometimes the things that keep us from being a little happier are actually like fears and limiting beliefs. I can only get so happy because if I start to get up to like this glass ceiling of joy or peace, then I start to freak out a little in my nervous system that like the other shoe's going to drop. If everything in my life starts to feel like okay in this moment, then I have to look for something to be wrong, because what if that gets taken away from me? Or what if that means, what if that's the foreshadowing that something bad is going to happen? What if that's, we have all these crazy beliefs. It's normal, it's human, and there's a lot in the collective. I can only have so much money before people judge me. I can only have so much joy before people judge me. I get a lot of joy judgment. When I'm in my joy, it's confronting for people. It took me a while to understand that. I actually had a woman come up to me at a retreat one time, which is when I'm like in bouncing, literally, quite literally bouncing euphoria. And she was like, I just can't tell if you're for real. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, let's hang out and then you'll see. And by the end of the retreat, she was like, man, I really didn't think you were for real. And like, you're legit for real. You actually are this happy. And I was like, well, not all the time, not in normal life, just on retreat. This is my bliss. I'm here in my bliss. And she had met so many people who were fake in that she just wasn't sure. And I loved that she was honest with me about that. That's not normal. But we can be confronting to people. Happiness can be scary. It can be something we don't think is possible. There's all sorts of things that get in the way. So in our healing today, we're going to see if we can just lovingly slide some of those beliefs into the past and shift our way to allowing just a tiny bit more. 15%. Like I said, that's our goal today. So if you will find a comfortable spot with me, we're going to start a very simple practice for meditation. If you are in a space where you feel super wound up or in high stress, you do not have to close your eyes. You do not have to hold still. You do not have to sit down. You can do this walking. You can do this swaying. You can do this tapping your toe. You can do this snapping your fingers. Come as you are to this. Okay. If you would like to close your eyes, please do so. And the first thing I want you to notice is the sounds that you hear. Tune your awareness to the sounds that you hear. So you're going to probably hear things more loudly, maybe, as you begin to focus. Just noticing sound. What's the loudest sound that you hear? Now, what is the softest, quietest, most subtle sound you can hear? Just noticing. You might even be able to hear the sound of your own breath. And can you feel anything with your body physically? The clothes on your skin? Maybe the seat beneath you? What's the most obvious physical sensation you can feel? Now, what's the most subtle physical sensation you can feel? Maybe it's the air on your skin. Maybe it's your digestion moving. See if you can find taste in your mouth. What can you taste? As you breathe in, can you smell anything? And what can you see behind your eyelids? If your eyes are closed, if your eyes are open, what do you see? Are there shadows? Is it bright? Now, what do you notice with your nervous system? And can you bring your awareness to the bottoms of your feet for a moment? Focus your awareness there as hard as you can and see if you can get the bottoms of your feet to actually heat up just by focusing so hard. And if it's easier, just pick one. Start with one. Focus until you feel it get a little warm or a little tingle, and then try the other. Take a deep breath or two. Ideally, see if you can make a big sound on your exhale, a sigh, a groan, a moan, a ha. Do that one more time. Get a little dramatic with it. I mean, the more drama, the better. If you can be so dramatic that you can make yourself laugh, please do it. Maybe smile. Open your eyes when you're ready. We have such a tendency as humans to take life so seriously. And that's good. That's good. We give it power when we take it seriously, which can be a great thing because it lets us experience it so much more fully. Sometimes a little playfulness takes away the power and puts us back in the driver's seat. So there's great benefit to both. If you will grab your pen and paper, we're going to pick a few different areas of life, and I'm going to give you a list of 8 categories. You can jot these down. You can choose more or less if you want to. Relationship, family, friends, work, body, or if you want to call it health, home, money, mental health. I'll read through those one more time. You'll jot them down. Relationship, family, friends, work, body, home, money, and mental health. And I want you to choose 3 of these categories where you, at the moment or recently, feel the most not happiness, the most angst, or the most common challenge. Just put a little tick mark. And if you want to add your own categories, it doesn't matter. That's great. Your own, like a subcategory is perfect. For me, a subcategory would be house remodel. We are in the midst of remodeling our house. I'm literally sitting next to a giant hole in the wall in my office. So for that falls under home, right? That would be a category I will pick as we play this game. And then I want you to choose a category that currently is feeling like the best, where you very, very easily, the one that is bringing you the most happiness, and put a separate kind of tick mark next to that. Okay. Now you can get rid of all the other categories. Just cross them off real fast because we don't need to worry about those ones. Do. It doesn't, isn't it just nice to cross things off a list? Look at that. Ta-da! Now, I want you to write down for each one of those categories, do it one at a time, the thought that, oops, question. Oh yes, if the best that you've got is one that's neutral, that's great. Pick your best category, even if it's not a pure joy category. That's totally fine. Our goal today, like I said, is just turn the dial up from wherever our current set point is. So for each one of these categories, I want you to write down the thought you think that gives you the most angst and the thought you think that gives you the most joy or positive feeling, the worst feeling and the best feeling. So let me give you an example. I've got my home remodel, right? The thought I think that gives me the most angst is having my house torn apart makes me want to climb out of my own skin. It's pretty dramatic. But that's the thought I'm thinking in the moments when it's driving me bonkers. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. And then the thought I think that makes me think the best is everyone is doing such a quality job. And it's coming out beautifully. Okay, so let's all take a few minutes. Just pop in the chat if you have a question. So I want the thought you think that gives you the best feeling and the thought you think that gives you the worst feeling. And you might not be having super specific thoughts. It might be a very subconscious thought that just evokes a big feeling, right? So you may have to kind of give a general guess at what that underlying thought is. Okay. Question. For both the best categories and the worst categories, do we start with the best? Thank you. So the one thing that you marked down as this one is making me feel the best, on that category only, the last category we chose, I only want the happy thought. So we'll have 3 not so happy thoughts, and we'll have 4 happy thoughts. Does that make sense? Great. Thank you for that. Good question. Okay, we'll take a couple minutes. You can just type done in the chat when you've got it. Actually, when you're done, I want you to type in the chat, nailed it. for that nice subconscious pat on the back. Okay. Okay. That was a great idea I just had. I love watching you all type nailed it into the chat. Thank you. Okay. If you're still working, finish up. And as you're looking at your paper, we are being like archaeologists of our life right now. So this isn't a space for judgment. Let's actually, you've all heard me say, you all know me, you've all heard me say that your higher self's like always championing all the time that you're humaning so well. Like they're everything we do, because that's what we came here for. There was no intention. We were like this soul floating around and the ecstasy of unconditional love that is creation. And we were like, I know, I ought to go get dirty and have heartbreak and stub my toe and get sick and fall in love and have sex. And this is going to be awesome, right? Like you don't go to an amusement park thinking that you're going to ride roller coasters because it's boring. Well, that's exactly like what I do all day, every day. I'll just go do that thing I do. No, you go because you're like, some nights it might be scary and it might be fun and it might be exhilarating and I'm going to want to pee my pants. And like, if you like roller coasters. Well, this is roller coasters. You came here. So can you just give yourself a round of applause, please? Okay. Sorry to my podcast editor who's going to have to deal with how to make that sound for. Anyway. So, because you're here and you're humaning, so this is not a space of judgment. The whole goal of this is we are looking with better eyes to understand the structure of what's making up our reality so that we can be like, I want to just fiddle with that a little. Okay, so those are your eyes. Put on your excavator, archaeology, whatever, I don't know, scientist glasses. Now, circle the 3 sentences that cause you the most pain, the 3 thoughts that cause you the most pain. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I want you to look at those. And realistically, do you think those thoughts really often, pretty often, sometimes, like just to kind of notice? Again, no judgment. You're already nailing it as a human. You are humaning perfectly. So if those are thoughts you're thinking often, for me, I'm thinking these all the freaking time. So often. If actually, okay, let me sell this differently for you. Now I want you to read all 3 of the positive sides of those ones. So pause and read those and like feel it when you think it, because these are thoughts you think. So you ought to be able to read those and like click into what that feels like. These are your repetitive thoughts. What did you notice in your body as you were reading the negative versus the positive? Did you notice an emotional reaction, even if it was subtle, to how the negative ones make you feel and how the positive ones make you feel? I could feel it for sure. Even amidst the joy of being here with all of you and all these like overwhelming feelings of all of this, I could feel when I read those thoughts that there's like a certain dim down, whatever, little emotion that comes. And then there's a certain emotion that comes. Like I felt it settled in my body as I read the positive ones, like it felt like truth. Okay. Now, all I want you to do is recognize that in the moment when you think the thoughts that don't make you feel good, you're making yourself feel like crap. It's very scientific. So just look at those and think, oh, those are the moments when I make myself feel like crap. Do I want to feel like crap less? Three simple repetitive thoughts. Read them again because I want these to be memorized as these are no longer anything other than the warning light that pops up on your dashboard. That's it. When the warning light pops up on your dashboard and tells you to buckle your seatbelt, sometimes you're annoyed, right? Because it's so annoying when it dings. But what do you do when that happens? You should buckle your seatbelt and it goes away, right? You know exactly what that sound means, or the flashing light in your car, or probably both. And then you just buckle your seatbelt. So these thoughts now, when you have them, read them again. I want you to have them memorized in like the back of your head. These are now your ding, 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 ding in your car. Buckle your seatbelt. Because when you have these thoughts, all I want you to think is, oh yeah, that's the thought that makes me feel like crap. Quick, switch. And if you catch it 3% of the time that you think that thought, you are evoking a huge change in your future. Not every time. Not every time. Memorize those. Memorize those 3 things. I'm going to read mine again. Because all these are, when you read them, do you realize like, oh yeah, this is like, it starts to lose its power as you're reading it. Did you notice that? It starts to just sound like this whiny thing that you say. If someone was hanging out in your brain with you, they would be like, oh my God, are you complaining about that again? Because it's so frequent. These are the thoughts that we use to make ourselves feel like crap, not on purpose. We're just humaning. It's something that we probably want to change, and that's fine. The fastest way to change it is to stop complaining about it. The fastest way to make more of it is to complain about it, because our focus has power. We're not trying to worry about shifting. We're not trying to worry about the manifestation of this. It's going to come. But in that moment, instantaneously, you can shift out of feeling crappy to feeling a little bit better by thinking the other side of that. Now read your 3 positive thoughts again. And then read them again and notice your body. Maybe take a breath with each one. What could you do to remind yourself of these 3 thoughts? Again, we're shooting for 15%. If you caught yourself once a day thinking one of these thoughts, and just for 30 seconds, you were able to switch to the other one before your brain was like, yeah, but, and drug you right back there, that 30 seconds holds more power than the next 30 minutes you spent ranting about it in your head. I promise. So for me, I'm actually going to write these thoughts out in like the prettiest handwriting I can and stick them on my refrigerator. Maybe you may get like a reminder in your phone that pops up once a day with these happy thoughts. Again, we don't need to catch everyone. We don't. You gotta be able to have a tantrum as a human. It's part of why we came here. Tantrums feel so good. Sitting in our victimhood sometimes feels so good. It's like having a great slouch or getting, sometimes you gotta feel the range of emotions, and a tantrum lets us do that. We just don't want to get stuck hanging out there. Victimhood is not a place to live. It's just a place to go visit when you want to be. Okay, so we're not beating ourselves up. Now, am I doing a good sales pitch at this, guys? Are you guys like you're feeling me? Okay, this is simple, but not easy. I promised 3 simple steps. This is so simple, but not necessarily easy, because you have like ruts in your brain, these neural pathways that you have traveled so many times for so many days with these thoughts. And so now it's instantaneous, it's triggered. That thing, that person, that situation, and your brain's like, honest, this freaking thing is taking so long. How many times a day am I reminded of this remodel? A lot. It's in my living space. It's shop right. It's up here. And so the more I let my brain stay on that pathway, the more I'm creating this taking forever and want to climb out of my skin. That's the thought. But there is another pathway, and the other one has a rut too. Because that the positive thought, the like they're doing a really good job, I have thought that one a lot too. Can I switch from like I got my wagon and it's stuck in the rut, in the dirt, and can I pick it up and put it in the other ones? And the more I ride that other thought, the more run down those wagon ruts get. I need a more modern day example. But this is actual, like the neural pathways in your brain. We're just making new pathways. We're rewiring those. If you want to do one more little bonus interesting thing, you can use a practice to help you with the rewiring. This is something that if you ever had EMDR therapy, which is a type of, what is it called? It's bilateral stimulation. So it can be tapping side to side. Sometimes it's like a light that moves back and forth. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. So, and it's so powerful. I love it so much. So when you have that thought and you catch yourself, fingertips tapping, alternate sides. I like to tap on my chest, You can tap anywhere you want, but back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can pick up an object and move it across the midline of your body, hand it to yourself in the other hand, and just go back and forth. But I like the tapping myself. It's also very soothing for me in my nervous system, tapping on my chest. Brendan looks over and he's like, what's the matter? I just needed soothing in this moment. Tap, 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 side, 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 side. Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. Do it for 2 seconds. When you catch the thought, or what you might actually catch is the emotional response, right? Because the thought might happen so fast and subconsciously that you didn't even hear yourself think it. I might walk into a room and just like my shoulders go up and I'm like, this freaking, my office is like a jumble right now. I might open the door to my office and I might feel that constriction in my body. When I notice it, if I can do it again, a couple % of the time, if I start tapping and I go, but they're doing such a good job. Or just breathe. Something different pulls you up and out of those ruts. And it rewires much faster than not using the bilateral stimulation. It's a great extra little tool. Okay, are you feeling like this is doable? Just a little shift. We're not changing all of them. Don't change all of them. You got to have tantrums. I promise it's good for you. Tantrums are good. But just a little bit. We're moving ourselves from disempowerment to empowerment, couple % of the time. Okay. Now, look at topic 4. This is the one that makes you feel the best, the most of the time. Anytime you aren't feeling as good as you want to feel, this is your distraction. And if you threw away everything else that we did on our paper and never played with it again, that would be fine, especially if you could just focus on this one thing that brings you joy or peace or comfort. The more you focus on this, the better. There are weeds growing in the garden. That's fine. But if you plant more and more and more and more and more flowers, especially robust ones, they're gonna choke out the weeds. And planting robust flowers just means that you focus on this one thing that makes you feel good. So we're gonna take like 2 minutes and I want you to write a rampage all about all the positive thoughts you have about this one thing. When it's done, I want you to write nailed it again. Notice how it makes you feel as you're writing all of this. When we're done here, I recommend that you take a second to go back and reread that section that you just wrote. Because this currently in your life, this one thing that makes you feel better than other things do, is like your golden ticket. This thing is your golden ticket to feeling good. The more you think about it, the more you focus on it, better. The more you can use this as your golden ticket back into alignment. That's what I'm trying to say. This is your technique. This is your tool. This is your piece. Like, get right back on the train and go right back into alignment, right back to you and your higher self on the same page. Okay. You guys are doing so good. We're doing it fast and it's kind of deep work. So you might be exhausted later today and be like, why am I so tired? Because honest self excavation, exploration, digging, it can wear us out. It's big work. And we just condensed it down. So now you just get to receive. You can find the most comfortable spot that you want. If you feel like laying down, you can. We might run about 5 minutes or a little 5 to 10 minutes past the hour. At the end of our healing, I will just let you know that we're finished and sign off as quietly as I can so that you can bask. So if you fall asleep, stay asleep. If you're relaxing, stay relaxing. You already have your whole assignment. And hopefully it's in there and you don't even have to worry about it very much beyond this. Now your space, now your whole job is just receiving. Sit back or lie back and let your eyes close or your gaze soften. Begin to turn your awareness from the outside world to the inside world. And just let your breath carry you. If there is movement that your body needs, physically or mentally, if your brain needs to chatter for a moment, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Just tune your focus as you can to your breath. Starting to notice, is it slow today? Is it fast? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Where in your body are you breathing? Is it the front of your chest or the back or the sides, in your belly, in your shoulders, through your nose, through your mouth? Just paying attention. How does the air feel as it moves through your nostrils or through your lips? Could you feel those little tiny hairs on the inside of your nose getting tickled? Or could you feel the air passing all the way down your throat? Take a breath in through your mouth and notice the temperature of the air. Notice the difference in temperature on your exhale. Bring your awareness to the bottoms of your feet. Maybe wiggle your toes or stretch the arches. And imagine soft, supple roots moving down through the layers of the earth. And it's a well-worn path, so they move down with such ease. And they go so far down, all the way down, and they plug in at that center point, and liquid golden light begins to rush up through the roots to the bottoms of your feet. And that liquid golden light moves up through your legs, filling your thighs and your belly, rising up through your chest, your whole torso spilling over with this light as it pours down your arms and fills your fingers, rises to the crown of your head. Some of that light even continues up and gently out the top of your head to form a big ball of light. And imagine your awareness could be inside that ball of light now and say up, up, up. And that ball of light goes whisked out of the atmosphere, out into the universe, passing stars and galaxies, all the way to the furthest edges of the universe. This ball of light carries you. And you begin to move through colors of light as if you were passing through a giant rainbow. And finally erupting into this bright, iridescent white light. Pure source creation, unconditional love all around you. And keep going into this light until that ball around you dissipates and it's just you and source. You and the unconditional love all around you. And we begin by asking for an unconditional love healing to everyone listening. You may say yes or no to any of the healings we call in today, or you may just agree and say yes to all of it. Sit back and receive. Create or change it. Let's call a healing for mental health. Nice healing for all of the neurotransmitters, balancing your brain and thoughts and hormones, coming to a state that supports your mental health and well-being. A healing for depression and anxiety, intrusive thoughts, suicidal ideation and behaviors and thoughts. Create or change it. Calling in a healing for your physical body to clear out tension, pain, dysregulation, dis-ease, to bring your body into vital, optimal health, physical well-being. Create or change it. Calling in a healing for your relationships, romantic, family, friends, coworkers, society, your relationships with other humans. Think about one relationship in particular. Let's bring an upgrade to that one relationship. Create or change it. And let's bring an upgrade understanding, compassion, empathy, communication. To all of your close relationships, create or change it. Take a sighing breath, or a yawn, or a groan, or a moan. Let's call in a healing for your career, work, or financial well-being. Clearing away blocks that stand in the way of your work. Feeling purposeful, fulfilling, a positive beacon in your own life. Create or change it. Calling in a healing for abundance. The ability to feel safe and cared for by money. Upgrading your relationship with money. Working together as friends. Create or change it. Calling in a healing for your physical surroundings, your home, your belongings. The things and objects that you regularly and routinely interact with. Your car, your home. Putting protection around these items. Clearing any negative energy. And bringing a wave of positive energy that rejuvenates and replenishes you so that when you spend time in these places, when you interact with these objects, you feel rejuvenated, replenished, grounded, nourished, nurtured, safe, well, contented. Create or change it. Well done. Let's call in a healing now for upper limits. Anywhere that there is, I can only have so much. I can only be so much. Life can only get this good. I can only have this much love, or this much happiness, or this much success, or this much abundance. I can only look this good. I can only feel this good. Wherever those upper limits are, let's dial them up 3% and see how it feels in your nervous system. Just a skosh. Take a breath. Feel yourself expand and settle into that higher ceiling now. Try a sigh. If you feel comfortable, let's dial it up 3% more. 3% more. Abundance. 3% more. Purpose, fulfillment, passion, play. What if each of the areas in your life were allowed to get 3% more than you've ever allowed them to be before? Let's feel our nervous system expand into that. Create or change it. This time, let's dial it up 5% more. 5%. Could you allow in 5% more than the highest you would ever let yourself be? You might not be anywhere near that ceiling yet, but wherever it is, we're moving it up just a bit, just a bit, just a bit. The greatest amount of wealth you could ever let in goes up a little. The greatest amount of love you could ever let in goes up just a bit. The amount of safety, the amount of joy, the amount of success and contentment, the quality of your relationships, the number of relationships, friendships, support. How good can life be? Let that expand. Feel the stretch in your nervous system and then the relief as it settles in. Yeah, we could have the ceiling be that high. Yeah. Take a breath. Anchoring this as the new ceiling. Creator, change it. Calling in a healing to clear away limiting beliefs now. Any and all beliefs around I'm not good enough, I'm not blank enough. Clearing away the limiting beliefs that I can't be X, X, or X. Those hurdles and roadblocks and walls that stand in our way. It's not safe to have. It's not safe to be. The biggest and most common hurdles we bump up against in our beliefs when we think about life getting really good, clearing those now, Creator, change it. Settling into a new operating system. Safe for me to feel happy. My happiness doesn't take away from anyone else. My happiness, like a candle, lighting another candle that lights another candle, spreads. It sparks happiness in other people. One of the greatest gifts I can give to the world is to find my own alignment and let it ripple just by being. Settle that awareness in, Creator, change it. Take a few breaths now, maybe a few sighs. Each of these healings coming online gradually. And they may take days or weeks or months to fully integrate. That's perfect. All of this will go at the pace that's comfortable for your physical body. We anchor these healings in to your DNA, to every cell in your body, into your grounding, and we hand them to your higher self to hold. Creator, change it. One more time, bring your focus to the bottoms of your feet. Notice any sensations in your body. Let those roots travel down into the earth and plug in once more. Feel that surge of liquid love as Mother Earth sends her golden light to the bottoms of your feet. Like warm, melted honey, it moves up your legs, fills your pelvis, rises all the way to your heart, pours down your arms, reaches to the crown of your head, maybe even spilling out the top and pouring down over your body. grounding you in this newest version of you. We say thank you. Thank you, Source, unconditional love, Creator. Thank you, Mother Earth, Pachamama. Thank you to you and your higher self. It is done. It is done. It is done. Remember to give yourself gentleness, nourishing for the rest of the day, whatever it is that your body needs. Take as much time as you can, or as much time as you desire, to bask in this energy. We will sign off here. I love you. Thank you.